Looking for a recipe for ripe bananas? Check this out. Why, folks, it's Mike with Kitchen Tips Online, the place where the smartest people on YouTube come to learn new kitchen tips and tricks to help them save time and money in the kitchen. Now, if you're a regular subscriber, you know that we just finished up a couple of videos all about bananas. How to make bananas last 15 or 20 days, and how to make bananas ripen quicker. So as you can imagine, we wound up with a ton of ripe bananas, and you can only eat so much banana bread. So I developed this recipe of banana bars, or banana squares as it were, and I included raisins, and I can tell you they are absolutely delicious. Now, we experimented with how much raisins to use, and I'll show you that coming up in the video. But the great thing about this is you can cut them up into little individual squares and pop them in the freezer in Ziploc bags, and then throw them in the kids' lunch or take them in your lunch. And also, if you get unexpected company, you just go to the freezer, take out some delicious banana squares. That's good. Okay, let's begin our recipe for ripe bananas, or you could say a recipe for overripe bananas. We are going to use our overripe bananas to make banana squares. And for this recipe, size really does matter. And that's because the size of the pan will determine the thickness of the banana bread bars, and it will determine the number of squares you'll be able to get out of this recipe. When I mentioned earlier that we doubled up the raisins on one batch, let's take a look at that. This is double the raisins when compared to the other batch. And as you will be able to see, double raisins is much better. And don't forget, you can always add nuts. Let's take a look at the pans on the screen so you can compare that to the ones that you have. I can tell you that the small pan, you'll get about 40 thicker banana bread squares. And for the larger pan, you will get about 50. The cooking time will vary based on the size of the pan. You can see that the smaller batch is a little bit browner on top. We put that in for 30 minutes. And the larger pan, which had thinner batter, we put in for 22 minutes. The best way to check it, though, is to use a toothpick. After you pull it out of the oven, drop the toothpick down in it and pull it out to see if you have any raw batter on the toothpick. If you do, put it back in the oven for a few more minutes. And because we like to do things the easy way here at Kitchen Tips Online, we used a banana bread mix right out of a box. This one happens to be a Chiquita mix, and it calls for a small amount of water, 2 bananas, and 1 egg. We will mix it together before we add the raisins. Now we're going to go ahead and add a cup of raisins to this first batch, but for this second batch, we added 2 cups of raisins. And you can always add some walnuts or other kind of nuts if you like. Next, we will add some Pam to the inside of the pan, then add some flour and spread it all around so that the banana bread will be easy to remove from the pan. Let's go ahead and pour it into the pan and spread it out evenly. Then we can put it in a 350-degree oven for about 22 minutes. Remember, this is the larger of the 2 pans. And because the pan is larger, it means that the batter in the pan is not as thick as it is in the smaller pan. So we put the smaller pan in the oven for more time. After you take the banana bread out of the oven, put it on a rack and let it cool down before you try to remove it from the pan. Well, there you go, folks. The next time it's your turn to bring the treat to work, you can bring these banana squares that are not loaded with sugar, and your coworkers will give you a thumbs up. And if you think we did a good job on this video, a thumbs up would certainly be appreciated. Thank you very much. And if you're not a subscriber and you'd like to see more videos like this, well, I recommend you subscribe. Thanks for watching.